What up? This your man Greg, and this is only for those who have ears to hear. This video is going to be rated E for embarrassing and enigmatic.
Yeah, I quote the word of God because it's medicine when you hear it. I pray for ears to hear it, his messages in these lyrics.
Off top, we're going to start with the disclaimer. All right, a lot of this is anecdotal. It might not apply to you. It's personal. It's something that I've experienced, but I do believe that it can apply and will apply to a lot of men in the future. So just hear me out. You know, I can think back to a time where I really felt like I was him. I was single, no kids, had my own house, own car, nice job, career, all of that stuff, 6 feet tall. I guess you could say on paper, at least, I was a high value man. And I didn't really think I was like him, like I'm walking in a room and all the ladies are just gravitating towards me. But I really kind of felt like I was doing my thing. And I felt like I embraced those attributes and I like those attributes about myself because once again, I look good on paper. But over time, what I realized is that there came a point to where there was a shift from me embracing those qualities to me actually beginning to feel embarrassed about these qualities. I would say probably around age 35-ish is when I started to begin to feel this shift where it felt like I had all of this good stuff on paper, but I didn't have the wife to match. And so basically I became a bit of an enigma to people. It's like people would look at me and they would say, oh, you know, well, he's doing this, he's doing that, but where's the wife? And so basically when you're in that lifestyle of being this high value man, it's cool for a season. And if you're a playboy, a nature boy, an F-boy, you know what I mean? If you're a socialite and you're kind of out in the streets and you're kind of doing your thing, nobody really has these expectations from you. If you're any one of those boys, right? We only have boy expectations from you. But if you're trying to function as a man of integrity, if you're trying to function as a man, right? And I'm not saying that every man that is not married and doesn't have kids does not have integrity. But what I'm saying is that when you have all of these different qualities and then there's no wife to match, people begin to question it. You become a bit of a red flag. You become a bit of an equation that doesn't quite add up. And I can even think to times where I begin to become very self-conscious about this. There will be family functions that I will go to and I will get invited and I'm the only one that's invited. You know, and I'm just showing up as me. And it's just like, I'm just this relative, it's just me. No companion, no children. And I'm of a certain age, I'm 40 now. And so I began to get real self-conscious about this. I would fellowship at one of my brother's churches. You know, a couple of the women in there were saying they were interested in me. And so now I'm like, man, I can't even go to the church because I'm just existing as this single available man. People are trying to hook me up and stuff like that. The thing about it is, I was open to those opportunities, but I don't really move unless God tells me to move, and God had not told me to move. So I kind of had to exist in this state of just being a man and being single, but there not really being any family substance to my life. I had things that I had going on in life, things I'm working on, projects, you know, I'm still in my career, but none of that really fulfills me. And it doesn't really take away the reproach. And my unpopular opinion is this, that it's more embarrassing for a man to be single and childless at an older age than it is a woman. Now, can it be embarrassing to women? Is there a reproach that comes with that? It certainly can, because so much of womanhood is tied into motherhood, into wifedom. So it is arguably a little slightly embarrassing thing depending on that woman and her situation and her desires and what she wants. Same thing with the man. It really depends on the man. There's a lot of men that just don't care. But I can recall going to a men's conference in Texas and man, there were probably like 250 dudes there, and I would wager to say about 97% of them were married. Now, granted, these were like mostly middle-aged white men. You know what I mean? But nonetheless, I just felt so self-conscious. It almost felt like, what am I doing with myself? And so I just want to sort of dispel this notion that a man is perpetually valuable or in a good state if he's single, unmarried, and childless, right? If that's what you want to do your thing. But I just want you to be mindful of that there is a stigma that can come with that. Why is it more embarrassing for a man? Because men actually pursue. Women traditionally, they aren't supposed to pursue men, right? They have to wait until a man pursues them, and then they choose from that man. Now, a lot of them choose horrible men, let's be real, but nonetheless, men have the freedom to choose. So if marriage is something that you really wanted, guess what? You could go out and get it. You could absolutely go out and just pursue whoever it is that you want. So when a person sees that the man is not pursuing his marriage, there's a question that comes in mind like, well, what's not adding up here? Now, we could throw around the typical stuff, oh, he's gay and all that dumb stuff, but really, a lot of times it's that there is something wrong. I know in my case, I'm someone who didn't always prioritize marriage. Before I was saved, I didn't see the point of it. I figured, what can I get from marriage that I can't get from a relationship? So why take the risk? Why spend the money on the ring and the wedding and the commitment when I don't know if I'm gonna really be into this person 5 years from now? So I didn't see the benefit in my carnal mind, but I realize now that it's way more significant. So in my case, yeah, there's some smoke there and there's some fire because I didn't prioritize it. And I would go from person to person and stuff like that. And that just proved to do nothing but really just fragment my soul and just make me into a person that needed a lot of repair. Let's put it that way. And by the grace of God, I'm getting and have gotten a lot of that repair. So I just wanted to throw that out there. You know, it's a good look for you as a man to have a family because it represents stability. It represents accountability. It represents that there's something about you that requires you to have some level of integrity. Now, we know every man with a wife and kids isn't all of those qualities, but at least when someone sees you with a family, it represents the fact that you're not completely self-centered and self-oriented. So once again, this is not the case for every man and every woman in every situation. I'm just sharing my situation to just put it out there to let men know, listen, you can be, you know, top tier, big cheap toilet paper for a certain period of time, but depending on who you are and who you're around. See, what this really is about is this about your contemporaries. If you're a person of integrity and you're somewhat family oriented, you're gonna be around family oriented people and other people of integrity, married people and things like that. And you don't wanna just be lingering, you know, but if you're a person that, as I mentioned, is just a socialite, just out here kind of doing you, having fun, no one has that expectation from you because they understand that you're just kind of playing around, you're doing you, maybe you're focused on just your money or something like that, which a lot of times is just an excuse, but that's another video for another day. But anyway, with that being said, whoever has ears to hear, let them hear. You all take care and be blessed.
Keep fighting, keep praising, keep worshiping. The last shall be first, so it's not about who the first to win. Long as you stay in the race, when in this world of sin is light at the end of the tunnel, so you can hope again.